Good evening, everyone. I will... Thank you so much just for coming to the stage. That's really nice of you. After 1 year, we meet again at BioInnovation Awards 2026 to celebrate creativity, talent, science, and technology as a tool for solving the most pressing problems of these days. Welcome to the finale of Lifbee Academy. My name is Simona Šintalová, and I will be taking you throughout tonight's program. Lifbee Academy is an international educational program and incubator which connects scientists, IT specialists, and entrepreneurs so they can create innovations together with a positive impact in the life sciences and EnviroTech sector. I am very happy to see you here, all dear participants, dear alumni, mentors, partners, and friends. Welcome. I want to also welcome all the new faces and guests who are joining us for the first time. We hope you have a wonderful time tonight and enjoy seeing our impact from the first rows. You will see competition in 2 streams called Life Sciences and EnviroTech Lab. Lastly, before we start our official program, I would like to thank the Spot for hosting us today in this amazing space. But let's kick this off with our first formal opening guests. I would like to invite Simona Held Vesela and Matej Held to the stage, co-founders of the Lifbee. Please come here.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming. And let me tell you something about how we opened the 6th year of Lifbee Academy. When we opened the 6th cohort, we realized something important. Growth doesn't always mean more participants or more projects. Growth also means learning how to look at what we do from a perspective of maturing organization. And this year, that shift became very tangible. We built independent teams within Lifbee Academy. For example, our selection team, which is for the first time consisted of our alumni. People who once sat on the other side of the table now help us shape the future generation. We also created ambassador team. Alumni actively represent Lifbee Academy at universities and events, helping us reach more future innovators and spread the idea that innovation belongs to scientists too. And many of our alumni stepped into roles of mentors and lecturers at Lifbee Academy, not because we asked them to, but because they wanted to give something back, share their experiences, and pass on what they learned. They are creating bridges between Lifbee Academy and their companies, startups, research groups, and I think that's something truly special. When we opened the program this year, we were very honest to ourselves. Yes, Lifbee is still about startups being created, but more importantly, it's about individuals, people who create change in many different ways. Some of them strengthen education and research environments, some take leadership roles in companies and startups, and some start looking at science differently, understanding trends, entrepreneurship, and real societal needs. And of course, some build their own companies or startups and bring the real value to others. I would like to share with you one personal story. One participant told us that it was at the very end of Lifbee Academy when everything truly clicked for him. He said he finally understood the connected complexity of the program and the community. And it's not something like you can describe in promotional materials or brochures, but it's something you experience it when you feel it. And that moment of realizing how ideas emerge, how novelty is created, how needs are reflected, and how the value is actually produced, that aha moment was for us one of the clearest signs that what we are building matters. And this is possible because of you, dear team, dear partners, mentors, lecturers, alumni, and dear community. Lifbee exists because of collaboration. And I would like to thank our partners for your trust and your support. I would like to thank to our strategic partner for clinical research and regulations, a top contract research organization, Sanaklis. Thank you to lab patrons VUB Banka and Producer Responsibility Organization EnviPac and Biotech Incubator and Venture Builder INI Prague. Our main foundation partner, Nadacja Tipsport, our partners EduValue, Nadacja Asset, CB Investment Management, and Simona Biosystems. Thank you to Cezo Nadacja and Nadacja Orange for supporting the project with their grant this year, as well as our growth partners, Prichta Partners, and the Spot for hosting us here. I would also like to acknowledge our content partners, Pipet and Chart, Martina Luterova, Kovac Services, Bosenburg, Peter Šimorka, Timan, IOCB Tech, Marineo, and the Campbell Institute of Intelligent Technologies. Thank you to our university partners and Circular Slovakia for cooperation. And thank you to everyone here tonight for being part of the community. Because you know, tonight isn't just about celebrating winners, it's also celebrating the people and ecosystem that support them.
Okay. Nice evening. Once again, thank you to everyone who puts energy, trust, and time into this. It's not about one chord. It's about building an environment where people and opportunities start connecting naturally. It's the foundation of the ecosystem, and that's why I would like to move to my next question. What is an innovation hub and how does it actually emerge? An innovation hub is a dense concentration of talent, capital, and infrastructure that radically shortens the path from an idea to a prototype, to the market, and to growth, just like Silicon Valley or Shenzhen. But the real question is, how does such a hub take place in our environment? And what role do all of us play in making it happen? Okay. Let me define what we mean by an innovation hub in a very practical way. Through three effects we want to see happening around us. First, acceleration to reality. Ideas don't stay as ideas for long. They move fast from concept to prototype to a pilot and to real outcomes. Second, opportunity visibility. You actually see what's going on, who is working on what help is needed, and where you can plug in. That alone creates a lot of momentum. And third, resource multiplication. Through the network, you gain access to top expertise, talent, partners, and infrastructures, the resources you simply haven't got on your own, or wouldn't have on your own. Okay, but to create an innovation hub, we don't need a magical building. We need a network with three things: enough people with diverse skills and assets, a sufficiently dense set of connections, and high-quality links built on trust and repeated collaboration. When these elements come together, networks start forming clusters. And that's the precursor to a hub. Early on, people are talented but far apart. As number of people and their connection grows, clusters start to form and then centers emerge. But what's the key point is that only after reaching a critical mass does the network start to behave differently with higher complexity. And that's the moment when three effects of innovation hub can truly emerge. Okay, this is Lifbee cluster. This is the Lifbee network in action. As of today, we will have 142 alumni. And our long-term goal is to reach critical mass of 500. But what is more important than number itself is that network has already momentum. Alumni, lecturers, mentors, partners are connecting, collaborations are forming, and opportunities are being shared. And in short, it's starting to function as living environment, not just single program cohort. And my closing call is simple. Let's intentionally connect different parts of the ecosystem, not because we want to build another cluster, but to build bridges between clusters, because those bridges accelerate the flow of resources and opportunities and help us reach critical mass sooner. So real innovation hub can truly emerge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simona and Maciej. Those were the co-founders of Lifbee. And now let's pass the word to someone who has been supporting Lifbee for a really long time already. CEO of Sanaklis, our strategic partner for clinical research and regulations. Please welcome Mr. Alexander Feďkovský.
So, hello everybody. I'm very happy to see how Lifbee is growing year over the year, and it's getting better and better. It's first of all thanks to all of you guys, and for us it's really a pleasure and honor to support that kind of platform that allows young people who have some kind of additional drive than the average friends of them to do something more and step out of comfort zone and try something that potentially becomes one day something very innovative and game-changing. Theoretically not as well, but on the other hand, they are able to gain some kind of special experience and expertise which they could use in various different ways where they choose to go in the future. So that's really a pleasure and honor for us to support you guys. Thank you very much, and all the best for all the teams.
Thank you very much. So, today's agenda has 4 main blocks. We will start with presentations of 5 teams competing in Life Sciences Lab. After a short break, we will follow by presentation of 4 teams in EnviroTech Lab, and then we are going to hear our keynote speaker, Šimon, Rovder CTO and co-founder at Powerful Medical. And then we will go to the finale where we will recognize the winners of each of the labs. And after then, of course, party, networking, and so on. And now it's time to give the floor to you, our audience. We are officially opening the Public Choice Award, where you decide which team delivered the best performance today. For everyone here in the room, please scan your QR code here. Or you can go to slido.com and enter #Lifbee. You can submit your vote anytime during the event. You don't have to vote now before you've seen the presentation. You can vote until the end of the program. And we will announce the winner of the public choice. So make sure your voice is heard and let the voting begin. And now let's proceed to what you all come here for. So let's kick off the first round of presentation, the Life Sciences Lab. This year assignment was very simple, to build platforms for personalized medicine that connects scientific discovery, digital tools, and healthcare or business systems to turn body signals into real-world decisions. The patronage of Life Sciences Lab is held by INI Prague. Every participant will receive a certificate and special gift from Sanaklis and INI Prague. And now I would like to invite patron of the Science Lab. Please welcome on the stage David Stíbal, the director of the Biotechnology Incubator and Venture Builder INI Prague.
Thanks for the invite, and thanks for having us as patrons of the Life Science Lab. Just a few words from our perspective. I think this is a great event. We've been here for about 4 years, and it's good to see it growing, not only through the number of people, but also through the quality of projects that we're about to see very soon. From our perspective as a venture builder, this is a super important and kind of unique event and academy, to be honest. Because what we do day to day is trying to convince scientists to create ventures around their science. So we talk to professors, we talk to postdocs, PhD students, and we're trying to shift them from the science to the business, which is hard. Sometimes it's impossible. And what's easier to do, actually, is to partner them with somebody who knows what business is, who's actually seen and created a business plan and sort of done a market analysis, for instance. And I think that the value of the Lifbee Academy and the alumni of it is really in this, in being able to help those interesting innovations to get from, well, the academy to practice. So I'm hoping that the teams today will show us some interesting plans and inventions, possibly, and potentially we can then talk about having an impact on the Czech or Slovak academic institutions. So thank you, and looking forward to the rest of the evening.
Thank you very much. And now we will introduce you to our amazing jury who will decide who will be the winner of the Life Sciences Lab. One of the jury is David Stíbal, so please you can take the seat in the jury seats. Thank you. The next one is Alexander Feťkovský, the CEO of Sanaklis. Martin Popovič, CEO at Catalyst Scientific, where they support entire medical. And last but not least, Paulina Bemerová, Science Affairs License in Nadacia Asset. Before we begin, I have few instructions for our teams to follow. So you will have 3 minutes to present your presentations, then you will hear gong, and the jury will have 5 minutes to ask questions. And that should be about it, and we can start with the first team, which is called Rainsense. And I would like to welcome to the stage Jana Lapinová, scientist, Rebeka Radič, PhD students of neurophysiology.
So, you can speak about your health and emotions, but horses can't. They are masters at hiding pain until it's too late for prevention. Treatment costs thousands and bed wheels and months of recovery. This is silent crisis in equine care, so that's why we created Rainsense. Stress is the underlying factor for most equine diseases, yet monitoring still remains reactive and subjective. Beyond animal welfare, it's a massive economic burden, while average care costs around $400, and injury and or disease can skyrocket these increased expenses. Our solution is a tail-mounted wearable, continuously monitoring vitals and location, using algorithms to detect early stress and pain indicators, syncing data to actionable dashboard and reports. For the start, we are targeting European equine health market, 660 million industry hungry for innovation. We are not just an idea, we've done the research. 5 deep interviews confirmed that stress and pain emerge as the most important factors. And most importantly, we made a partnership with riding clubs for testing our MVP. Vets also confirmed that stress is an underlying factor for many diseases, and also they would appreciate early pain indicators. Online survey showed interest in using our technology and also willingness to pay for such a solution. Our go-to market strategy is B2B with target for farmers, trainers, and riding clubs. This business model is very simple and scalable, and break-even point is under 1,000 sold unit for 1 year, for first year. Most of our competition now focuses on mainly on monitoring either specific disease or general vitals or performance. But we in RheinSense are focusing on early prevention to detect pain and stress with our unique variable design in a highly personalized platform with vet's consultation, aiming to set the gold standard in equine care. Our vision is to continue in this project and also expand our team with a sensor expert and add members to advisory board. We are the reins of the health, feeling what horses can't say. Thank you.
All right, I'll give it a go. Thanks a lot for the presentation. I know you didn't have much time for the competition question, but could you maybe go back to that and explain to us what's different between your product and the competition, and whether you actually asked your interviewed potential customers for sort of the preference for your product?
Yeah, so a lot of competition actually focus most on performance. Also, there are some which focus on health and welfare, but they mostly target specific already existing disease. We would like to do the preventive care to focus on stress, which is the underlying factor for a disease, and pain, which is like the first sign of the disease. And actually what we asked also the vets and farms was what would they actually need the most? What would be the sign that would help them? And this was said that it's the stress and the pain indicators. So.
Thank you very much for an interesting presentation. I'm almost on board because I like this idea. And I know very well what are you talking about, girls, because I'm an equestrian fan. My daughter has her own horse, so I know how much I pay for care. So it's like first-hand experience. But I have a more practical question. How did you figure out that the device or sensor shall be placed on the tail?
Yes, this we talked with vets, and firstly we wanted to use the vest for like where the heart is, but it was said that there are too many sounds from the digestive system, and actually the tail is the best place to measure all this stuff. Also, there is no fur around it, like at the beginning, so the sensors are pretty accurate. And also, it cannot be destroyed if the horse lay down, which also we wanted to consider.
Can I? Maybe I have in that case sub-question. What are the markers or some data, or how you would like to get these data? What are you going to target?
Yeah, we want to measure heart rate, respiration, temperature, also the movement of the horse. Actually, also, for example, Garmin have this tail-mounted one, I mean, they are not targeted at pain and stress, but they already are doing it. So,
thank you very much for your great presentation. Actually, I was going to ask you a question, but then let me ask you something different. Do the horses like wearing it?
yeah, this is actually why we need to test our MVP, but and why we want to not like as you see, it's now in the tail protector, but we want to make it smaller. Because they said that actually they don't care if they have something on the tail until it's something like really big. So we want to make it a bit smaller. Thank you.
Well, I value your courage because you were the first to start with the presentations. Most of the questions I wrote for myself were already asked. However, I still have one. Did you even think about maybe scaling the technology for other animals later, so you will get a bigger market, maybe some zoos or farms or something like that?
Yeah, we were thinking about it and we want to do it in the future. Firstly, we want to start with horses. As I mentioned that, and at the tail there's the spot without the fur, so it's like easier to build for the beginning, and then we want to move to livestock, cows, and other farm animals. And hopefully one day we would have like an umbrella brand of some pets wearables as well.
Maybe one more question. Can you talk about exactly what metrics you measure with the device?
Yeah, so we want to use the I don't know if can I... Oh, okay. We want to use the PPG sensor to actually measure the respiration and the heart rate. We want to use a thermistor for exact temperature of the horse, and of course accelerometer for the movement of the horse and GPS location. But that's.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite Team Menothera. Here you go.
Half a billion women worldwide currently suffer from menopausal hot flashes, including your mothers, sisters, partners. Hot flashes are unpredictable heat spikes that makes you feel like you are in a hot oven. And now imagine enduring this several times per day, up to 7 years. That's how long a menopause can last. And that's why we founded Menothera, a smart wearable undergarment that predicts hot flashes seconds in advance and deliver just-in-time cooling. It works in 3 seamless steps. Integrated biosensors monitor your physiological data, predictive algorithm analyze them, and cooling fabric deliver relief. Other solutions are fundamentally flawed. They are too clunky, visible, ineffective, or outdated, and they miss the most critical moment. They treat the symptom after it starts, while our product delivers cooling seconds in advance. We offer our product in 3 tiers with a healthy 50% margin. We start on an entry essential level to full body cooling for premium customers. Our market strategy is B2C. We will use our own e-shop and leverage networks of influencers and gynecologists. Market is big. We talk about 50 million, with about 700 million women who suffer with perimenopause or hot flashes daily. Focusing on high-income market, even if we penetrate only 10% of them, we can serve over 4 million women. We are confident that we can succeed. We already run a small Google Ads campaign on US market, and only within 3 weeks, we already got 24 signups, 3 tester requests, and 2 pre-orders, one of them even for our highest tier product. We also run an international survey for women in menopause, which confirmed that in average, women spend around 300 euros for alternatives. That is actually more than our lowest tier product. We already built the first prototype, but for the real product, we need a proper cooling fabric. Cooling fabrics are currently an emerging technology. That means we really need to be fast, because in coming years, it will become standard. That's also why we are already in touch with 2 startups and 1 research center in Germany who research and produce these fabrics. You can see my colleague presenting here. And our team expertise is complemented by a strong network of advisors. We have a gynecology professor from Vienna, Dr. Johannes Ott. We have a biomedical engineer from ČVUT in Prague, a nanomaterial expert from Vienna in Germany, and many others, women health and well-being experts, including influencers. One is there. So, to bring Menothera to life and help millions of women survive hot flashes, we are raising 500,000 euro. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation, and it's a wonderful market segment. It's great. Quick question about how do you deal with sizes?
Pardon, can you repeat?
So, you know, humans come in all kinds of shapes, and how do you deal with production of the sizes?
The product will definitely need to be done in multiple sizes, like small, bigger, and XXL, and also like there will be like a grid of those things I gave you, and there will be some elastic material in between. So it will be like stretchy undergarment.
Okay, so the thickness of the material is about the thickness of what you would be wearing. Is that correct?
On some places, on the spots where the cooling will be.
Yeah, the plan is actually, it should be very comfortable because women want to have it not visible under their normal clothes. Imagine there are women who work, for example, in labs, factories, they have to wear protective clothes, and under that they can have a V-neck, tank top, or perhaps even a bra that would deliver this cooling.
Thank you very much. Last question. How is the suit powered? How do you measure, and then how do you apply cooling?
We will use skin sensors, mostly skin conductance and temperature, and they'll be using Peltier effect and electroosmosis. This material I gave you is thermoelectric material. We are in touch with 1 startup in Canada that makes electroosmotic material. And the electroosmotic will be mostly for drying the sweat. And there will be logic units that will be driving it. There we will train a neural network that will decide when to cool it and how strong, on which places, and like it's powered by battery.
Thank you very much.
So what kind of measurements will there be? Like what will it respond to the temperature only?
No, mainly skin conductance.
Okay. So how long before the hot flashes strikes will you
according to literature, it's possible to predict it up to 20 or 30 seconds ahead.
Okay. I saw a study from University of Massachusetts that said 17 seconds. They know before. Did you think about some cooperation with someone like that, or you will use your own measurements for this?
We plan to make our data set and then train our model on it, and we expect to get similar results as they have. Mm-hmm. We haven't talked to them. I think this part is the easiest one. The more difficult part will be the material for cooling. For that, we are in touch with researchers.
Okay, and you plan to go directly to international market, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The measurement, the demo was on US market.
US market.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the campaign. That was this Google Ads campaign. But actually, first we aim to DACH market, where we already have our partners and collaboration, especially in Vienna, also with a regulatory body in Vienna, and other bodies there who are willing to help us and collaborate on development and research.
So first of all, congratulations for choosing a very interesting and popular topic nowadays. Women's health is... No.
I'm impressed and I love it.
Not for me personally, but it's a hot topic in healthcare in general. So interesting, but I have one comment, not a question. Yeah, maybe question will be afterwards. As I held the material or sensors, it's pretty. I cannot imagine that any lady will put on herself 4 centimeters more.
That's a good question, actually, and that's why we need to involve from the very beginning women testers. We already discussed with some of them through our in-depth interviews that really the comfort is the most important. On the other side, I can show you when we talk to some women, they are so desperate that they would actually welcome any solution. So I believe we can still found women who are willing to buy it. And I believe it's going to be many of them.
That lady pre-ordered the highest tier for $600.
Yeah.
Like she's so desperate.
Yeah. I was personally shocked how desperate women are, and I'm kind of worried when I come to that phase of life. I might be one of the first one to wear Menothera, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And a big point is that those materials are coming on the market in a few years, so we need to be now to start it.
I just have a quick question, if I can. What's your regulatory pathway between the US, in the US and in Europe?
Well, in the US will be, let's say, the second focus market for us since we start in Europe and especially in the DACH region. We are already in touch with the LISA network in Vienna. Actually, that's like a scientific institute, regulatory, not a body, but they provide all kind of support with the regulations. And basically, we are in touch with those who has this experience because we clearly miss it.
And that fits within your $500,000 that you're raising, or regulatory steps?
Yes,
and
this
costs?
$500,000, that's mainly for R&D, for the engineers. We, of course, count on the fact that most of the personnel costs for management will be covered by our free work, and yeah.
We are already in touch with one of those researchers to apply for a grant.
Yeah, that comes in March, actually, this year.
Thank you very much. That was Martin Macko and Tatiana Petrikovic from Menothera. And now I would like to welcome another team, which is called EATaime. And I would like to welcome to the floor Miriam Dojčárová, Simona Almášiová, and Sofie Červenáková. The stage is yours.
What if food problem isn't only about food, but gut-brain loop? Imagine Zuzana, a high-performance woman, but suffers from pain, bloating, no specific symptoms. After GI tests, she gets a label, a gut-brain interaction disorder. Then she is left with self-management, cutting foods, tracking no symptoms. But this can lead to stress or eating disorders. The right path is two-sided, a nutrition and psychotherapy. She is not alone. Up to half of the adult population can have a gut brain or eating disorder. Even media are talking about it, so the market is rising. What is the real problem? The most self-management tools are either ineffective or can be even harmful. Even in our own survey, we see that people desire to understand their digestive behavior.
And this is exactly where we come in. EATaime moves people from tracking to understanding through intuitive fast logging, AI pattern detection correlations, and a human-centric approach. Feel free to scan this QR code and try our own working demo now. So in the app, you are free to track your daily mood, you are free to track your feelings after your meal, you can track in your bloating patterns, even your stool patterns if you prefer. You are always getting AI analyzed input as well, and you are just a quick step away from your direct contact to a clinician or nutri-specialist on the way too. So who is EATaime for? EATaime is for digitally skilled people aged from 16 to 55 with DGBI disorder, so gut-brain disorder. Already 177 million people in the EU market. But EATaime is also for B2B segments, so for nutritional specialists looking for insights to gain from their patients. As we aim to launch in the EU market, we are looking at the B2C, so we are offering the freemium and premium subscription, but we are also looking at the B2B market. So we are offering the licenses for experts as well. And why do we think that someone is actually able to pay for it? Because people desire to be connected with a specialist. They want personalized tips and advanced analytics as well. And why do we win? Because we tick all of those boxes. And even though our competitors track symptoms as well, they usually, and in most cases, miss that important gut-brain loop. So where are we now? In Q 2026, we are looking to finalize our product scaling, do our pilot testing, and we are raising 25,000 euros to finish building our app's features. This is our team. We are looking for a psychologist right now as well. This is Zuzana. This is her desire and our aim too. Thank you.
I have a question. Did I get it right that patient is using your app and it automatically connects patient with some specialist or nutritionists or clinicians, or it just it serves only for patients' information?
Do you want to ask?
Yes, people can connect to nutritionists, psychotherapists, gastroenterologists even, but so we have our own specialists, but we have even B2B market when a clinician can have its own patients.
They can have their own license and code, which can directly connect them to basically, clinicians can have their own license, and through that license, they can give the code to their patients, and patients can log into their program so they can use it. So it's like a subscription.
Okay, but I just try to understand the business model.
Okay.
Okay, for self-information, I can track it on paper. For self-information as a patient, yeah? If there should be some benefit for me, is that I am able to consult it immediately if something is spotted or it doesn't go well, so I can get immediately in touch with some expert, yeah?
So not immediately, like it's not 24 hours or 7, but yeah, you can do it by yourself on paper. This is how it is actually right now, but it's not working like very properly. So yeah, and it's not working very properly for the clients, but also it's, let's say, harder than for clinicians to just like analyze the data.
For patients, it's really hard to see the whole picture of their disease from different symptoms.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I saw you had a feature called Professor Gut, right? Now, what does Professor Gut give you based on your symptoms? Do they give you a diagnosis or anything related to a diagnosis?
Since we are starting like as a wellness app, so it's not giving direct diagnosis, but maybe in the future, because we would like to aim to be health application as well. But right now it's not possible according to regulation, of course. And also at this stage, we are going to try to find correlations and some patterns in eating and in behavior. So it's not like directly right now with some diagnosis, but it can be like, maybe sometimes it can be even like a very small shift, which can actually make a big difference.
Great, thank you. So you will try, based on your data, you will try first the market as a wellness app and in the future maybe a medical device?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we are planning to do, but we have to go through all the regulational steps.
Thank you very much.
And what is the difference in compared to the other apps that already exist? I didn't get that much because there are like apps specializing in eating disorders, there are apps specializing in psychology and eating disorders. Like I didn't get like what really the innovation there is.
Okay, I will try to explain it. So basically, let's start with only calorie tracking applications. So this application try to focus on control, let's say, and only on numbers. And here we have some which are like, let's say, better, but still it's not like in holistic way as we would like to have it. And also we want to take care a lot about the language as well, which can be triggering as well. Yeah.
So like in one of our slides, we were also doing sort of analysis, I think it's this one, where we were looking at like different apps. I am not sure if I can name the apps right now here, but we were looking at them and we found out that they're actually increasing there are increasing concerns for people who already suffer from eating disorders if they use these apps. So there are actually studies which prove that. We are not just coming up with some random
Do you
statistics.
also know the reasons why they're triggering the stress? Is it because the patients are just using an app to track their feelings or is it because the app has a strong language or something? Like, do you know the difference?
As I understood correctly your question, so it's basically because of the numbers. Because numbers means like to control something, to compare something, and the intuitive aspect is missing there. So yeah.
And by numbers, we mean like calories and grams and etc.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was team EATaime. And last but not least, I would like to welcome Olko Singh, Danica Ivovič, Peter Hubina, and Patrik Kozlik. The stage is yours.
Why are people dying when there is data to save their lives? We are OncoSync and we'd like to solve this problem. At first, I'll start with the fact. An unmatched clinical trial is missed chance to cure a patient. Cancer is the second leading cause of death, and clinical trials unlocks innovative therapies. The problem is fragmented data and the manual trial matching. Only 8% of people are enrolled. The problem is access, and time to solve it is now. I want to introduce you our solution, AI-powered platform from connecting of oncology ecosystem divided into two modules. The first is OncoSync pipelines, transforming fractured data into standardized dataset which are research ready. Then OncoSync clinics, helping identify eligible patients for clinical trials and help clinicians to guide them through the process of trial. Our solution is expected to help with patient enrollment by 45% and help with faster screening by up to 70%. Business model is divided into two parts. Research groups and healthcare organizations through subscription model, and pharmaceutical companies and CROs by trial services. But we are not an idea, we are MVP ready. Why OncoSync? We connect clinicians and researchers. We have standardized datasets. We are built on top of oncology workflow for CE, and we use AI-driven trial matching tool. Clinical trial market is around $7.5 billion, growing annually 27%. We aim for 350 million. Why now? Patient recruitment crisis and CE market potential. Our competition focus on electronic health records, but we focus on CE market, hospital integration, and clinic to research pipelines. At first, we develop with our partners and validate our MVP. Then we find pre-seed and up-steer incubator to scale up. We also apply for MDR certificates and apply for Horizon Europe grant with our commercial partners. And then the following year, we'd like to expand to England through our team member, who is in London Oncology Institute, and we grow. This is our team. We are consist of oncology expert and AI expert, and we seek for 400K pre-seed investment for MVP validation and development, because better structure save lives. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Excellent idea. Can you tell me, you said you offer EHR integration, correct?
Integration to pharma companies and CROs where they have access to trial process. So yes, there will be some HR.
And also connectivity to hospital data systems where patient data is stored. Or
yeah, so we have two strategies for that.
Yeah.
For private hospitals, we plan to directly integrate to hospital information systems because they have more standardized hospital systems and faster procurement. And for public hospitals, we plan to be an overlay system. So the clinicians will need to export the patient data from the hospital information system because we can't get directly to the data. So we are aware of this.
But this is the problem in the Slovak Republic right now, but we want to expand to other countries like Czech Republic, for example, and England, how we said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mainly to Western countries like England, Germany, France, and even further to the US if we met the certification requirements.
Great, thank you. Last question. I saw on your roadmap you have MDR Class 2A vision. What makes your integration a medical device?
Because when we assign some clinical trials to special patients, they will be cured based off our system. So this can be potentially problematic, but it depends on how we will build the product.
So the final decision is still on the doctor, but we need to be certified for this case.
Thank you. Interesting topic. Personally, I would be very interested to have a tool that could speed up recruitment process. However, I have some concern. Could you expand a little bit more about how you are going to, first of all, identify patient, how you will match it to concrete investigator? And the last question is, you mentioned that it would speed up screening process. Please also a little bit elaborate on that.
At first, I'll talk about the percentage of the faster screening. It's based on competition. So this is the real results of US competitors that have these results, what we found. And then what exactly, was there also?
How would you connect patient, or how you would connect patient and actual study?
based on real clinical data from the hospitals, and the clinical trials will be extracted from the publicly available site, which we found are instantly connected to, and we can found and process these trials and match based on this by our AI model, which is locally deployed. And
so our system has a connection to clinicaltrials.gov portal, and we can export the documents, the trials, and we can analyze them, and we can combine the structured and unstructured data and provide the predictions, as you can see on this MVP. Yeah. So, and the system provides the explainability for the decisions of the AI model.
So who in the current process of clinical trial performance would want to or have to pay for this? Who's the payer in the typical process?
Okay, so for the hospital, it will be hospitals or oncology departments, and the users will be oncologists and the trial coordinators from the hospital. And yeah.
And also there will be pharma companies which can pay for integrating of their trials into our system, so we can speed up the process of this.
Yeah, so we can provide statistic data about the individual sites and trial feasibility and patient outcomes and trial design.
So you will be collecting all the data about the patients, basically, right? Where will you store the data, and how do you want to secure it?
All of this data will be in the hospitals, and when they will go outside for the research standards, they will be anonymized. So no non-anonymized data will go from the hospital, and the data which will need to be processed, for example, for trial matching, will be all the time in the hospital.
It will be deployed to the hospital infrastructure, so no data will leave the system.
Thank you very much. Now you've seen all the presentations from Life Sciences Lab. Thank you to all the participants who had excellent presentations, and also to the jury who had really challenging questions. I believe you will have a hard time deciding which team was the best. But now, before we go to the EnviroTech Lab, I would like to announce a small break for 10 minutes. Please take some refreshments, and don't forget to use your right to vote for the public awards winner. Welcome back, everyone, to the second part of the official program. We are slowly, I will give you 30 more seconds to take your seats, if you will. We are slowly proceeding to EnviroTech Lab. EnviroTech Lab 2026 focuses on building globally scalable, community-rooted, interdisciplinary solutions for sustainable city ecosystems. The patronage of EnviroTech Lab is held by EnviPack and VUB Banka, and every participant will receive certificate and special gift from Sanaklis, Nadácia Tipsport, VUB Banka, and EnviPack. Rules are the same as before for the participants, so you have 3 minutes for your presentation, followed by 5 minutes time for the jury for questions. But before we begin, I would like to give the space to the patrons of EnviroTech Lab, to Katarina Kreter from EnviPack and Laura Martonová from VUB Banka. It was fast, I'm sorry. Do you want a few more minutes?
so the answer is I'm first. Welcome everybody. I hope everybody who is eating now or drinking or waiting in the queue in front of the toilets comes back, because the participants of Lifbee deserve it. To start this short speech, I'll tell you the normal day of an average person here, and it's in the morning, opening the news, feeling anger, helplessness, also maybe fear, and there are many advice, or there is a piece of advice that says, go and live and bring something to your very surrounding. Live in communities, help in your communities, and then the level of stress is going down, and you can see and feel that it is useful, the things you do, and start this in the local communities, and then this positive energy spreads further and further. And it's the same with today's topic, the topic of sustainable urban facilities and programs and things that can bring some good things to your very surroundings, and then scale to a major level and make everybody live in the better world. So thank you that I can be here this time again, and I am looking forward to the feeling after all the pitches, because after Lifbee Academy Awards, I can always say that my faith in humanity is back. Thank you very much, you all.
Okay, you just ruined all my ideas, but another idea came back. Not only try to sustainability, in my opinion, not only is about trying to bring something good to yourself, to your family, to your community, but also leaving the least imprint, the least footprint, the least waste behind you. Whichever, emotional waste, material waste, money waste, which I shouldn't say as a representative of a bank, but just remember that that's something you will not use in the afterlife. Thank you very much, everyone, for having us here, and I'm looking forward to hear the presentations.
Thank you very much. Seems I caught you by surprise, but you did really well. Now I would like to introduce the jury experts on this section. So again, Katarina Kreter, who leads communication and team of marketing experts at EnviPack. Please have a jury seat. Laura Martonová, an experienced ESG specialist at VUB Bank. Michal Čonga, general partner at 0100. And Michal Nešpor, partner at Growth Capital Ecosystem, CDBY Capital, and Crowdberry. Thank you very much. That's our jury, and we will start with the presentations with the first team, Wastevera. And I would like to welcome Natalia Gerčová, Anita Pudmenrická, a Silvia Perez Hector. The stage is yours.
Well, you could not do this with any fruit and vegetables that's treated chemically. So why are these treatments even used? We are facing a global food spoilage crisis, with circa 30% of fruit and vegetables lost post-harvest, mainly due to a microbial spoilage. That makes an economical loss of almost $750 billion annually for farmers and distributors. And those chemical treatments, though highly effective, may not even be used for much longer, with EU legislation strategy aiming to reduce synthetic pesticides by 50% by the year 2030. That brings our solution, a natural antimicrobial concentrate used in the form of spray or dip on fruit and vegetables. By fermenting acid whey, we use a byproduct problem into a natural antimicrobial solution. With our natural antimicrobial concentrate, we offer a B2B solution delivered to farmers and distributors, with pilot price estimated to be around 18 euros per liter, that's able to compete with other biological alternatives, and there's also potential ingredient or licensing model at later stages. Biological crop protection market size is estimated to be 2.5 billion euros, with post-harvest biological treatments making 350 million. With our pilot-scale adaptation, we target around 50 Slovak and Czech pack houses with possible revenue of 1 million euro annually. Unlike other solutions, Wastevera offers a solution that can benefit people and planet, with expected high efficacy, price that's able to compete with our other competitors, and low risk of antimicrobial resistance development. In future, we would like to launch an MVP as a part of master's thesis. After that, we could use a lab-scale validation and start optimizing our pilot with our possible early adopter, a larger fruit farm in Slovakia. After that, we could expand to other local markets and also enter a post-harvest treatment market in Europe. This is our team. We are Wastevera, a solution that, unlike bacteria, you can just eat your way through, and we would love your support on our journey.
Thank you very much. My question is just to specify, you mentioned the producers, so the farmers, and the packers. Do you have any special lines of implementing the product for those?
Not really. We can. I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly.
Because you are basically talking about spraying the fruits and veggies. Does that interfere in any way with the packaging? It's different if the farmer sprays the produce in a warehouse, and it might be different if there is a packer and packs it in a plastic bag.
The use is really simple, so it could be easily incorporated to any part of the chain, either on the side of the farmer or during the transport or even the supermarket. If they have a problem with spoilage of fruit and vegetables, we could also offer our solution for those people.
Okay, thank you.
So there are going to be 3 or 4 layers of spray if several people or producers, packers, then retailers do want to use this kind of product, they will spray another layer of it.
Yeah, it could be doable. If we think that it should be enough if one of those people use it. Mm-hmm. It does not need to be used throughout the whole chain. we would like to target the most critical part, the part that has the biggest spoilage. So it should be efficient if they just use it.
And which part is the most efficient? Which, the producers or retail, or who is it?
It differs. There are some solutions that are used right now, but with the problems that we are facing, that may change. So right now it could be the farmers, the beginning of the chain, and later when the things get either too expensive to maintain, like energy, during like monitoring the coldness or the temperature during the transport, then they could use our solution. So with the change of market, our possible target could change, and they could use the same spray that every other.
A tiny question, the last one. Maybe is it edible right after spraying, even
Yes.
for the kids, for example?
Yes, it should be. It should be.
Okay.
There's no synthetics used in the production, so it's edible, and it's made from whey. So.
Okay, so is there a risk of bacteria in the
No.
whey, or?
No. With the way we use the whey, there should not be, after our strict making, there should not be any pathogens present.
Okay, thank you.
Super good presentation, congrats, even though you are maybe a little bit not coordinated, but it doesn't matter at all.
We're a bit
Don't worry about
stressed,
it.
I'm sorry.
No, don't worry, it's normal. Just maybe following up on these questions, this is just a feedback, not a question, but it's not clear what is your main target ideal customer, if it is for packaging, logistics, transportation, etc. That's maybe the next step for you to figure out. My question is on the team. It seems like you have different good mix of competencies. Can you tell us a bit more about you three?
Yes, well, so this is our marketing lead. She's studying marketing at the University of Thomas Bata. I am studying food technology at the same university, but a different faculty. And we also have one more person in our team that's not right now present because of her work, but she works for a startup as a sustainability lead.
How do you plan to protect your product from the competition and copying?
The way we plan to use it, we would like to, in the future, maybe get a patent license for the special microorganisms that we are using, so that could help.
Thank you very much. That was Team Wastevera. And now I would like to welcome to the floor Farm to Door, Katarína Majerik-Behínska.
Let me introduce Farm to Door. Customers and farmers face real barriers. Small farmers spend a lot of time and money for delivery. Up to 40% of their revenue is spent on logistics, not growing food. For small farmers, is the best customer to somebody who came to the farm and they buy a large volume on food at the once. On the other hand, restaurants can do this because they won't just buy a food and they don't want to coordinate farmers and so on. Farm to Door creates shared logistic for small farmers. We aggregate the products from different farms and deliver to the restaurants. Our business model, we earn money from the subscription. The restaurant pay weekly subscription for €80, and we also take 12% service fee for volume of the food. We also offer premium to restaurants who want to specially timing for delivery. We are targeting to European market to 10 million euros, and there is a contribution, but the Farm to Door combined to B2B market and delivery frequency and keep merge to farm. Now we want to get MPV pilot validate in Bratislava or Nitra and expand to the next stage. Now I am a founder and I am looking for a co-founder for this project. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. I wonder what is the somehow like a minimum number of farms and types of farms so that it would work. There would be both enough of the produce and enough of the variety of the produce for the restaurants to be actually interested in the service, so that the restaurant would have a reasonable amount of the produce to cook from. Do you have any estimations or calculations?
Yes, for the pilot, we want to start with 8 to 10 farmers and approximately 10 restaurants. It depends how big farm and restaurant is. We want to deliver food 2 times a week, and average restaurant can needs approximately 140 kilograms of fresh food per week. So.
Thank you. Super important problem. Very difficult logistically. But can you come back to the pricing slide, please? I was a little bit confused there. It sounded like you want...
Which one?
Price. So there was something about 12% service fee on local food orders. Can you explain? So does it mean restaurants need to pay more for local stuff?
You mean the subscription or service?
Yeah. So in general, how does your pricing work? Because it's not clear. Sorry.
We deliver fresh food from farms to restaurants, and we take some fee because we need some money for coordination, administration, and.
But they pay you like 90 euros per week,
yes.
Plus 12% if
yes.
it is local, or generally plus
yes,
12%?
Because we combine fixed subscription and the variable service fee.
Okay. So they pay on everything 12%.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I have one more question. Do you have any experience with logistics? Because it's quite difficult.
Kind of. How to explain?
Did you drive a truck?
It really depends how far farms is and restaurants and everything, and it can be different religion by religion, you know. But we also want to cooperate with some AI system for logistics in the future.
Cool, thank you.
So your clients are going to be the restaurants, mostly, or the farmers?
Both. We want to support farmers and deliver food to restaurants, institutions, schools, and so on.
That's obvious, but there is an idea that the restaurant buys every single week from the farmer or the other farmer and never changes the supplies, no?
We want to combine different farmers to what's the question?
Who is going to pay you the 90 euro a week? It's for restaurants, I can see it. However, when I imagine the restaurants that are willing to pay for the local food from the local farmer, I think for them, the money is changed every single week or every second week. So then there is a farmer with cauliflower, there is a farmer with carrot, and I, for example, want, I don't know what, apples. I cannot imagine how this works in practice.
Maybe I can answer later.
Thank you very much. That was Farm to Door. And now I would like to welcome to the floor Alimorfa, Veronika Močeková, and Emma Zoboková. There you go.
Every 30 seconds, an amputation happens due to a chronic wound. And over 84 million patients in the EU are at a risk of developing a chronic wound, be that diabetic patients, elderly, or immobilized patients. And despite frequent dressing changes and the care the patients have, many of these wounds will not heal. And that is both financially and physically exhausting for the nurses and the healthcare system, amounting to approximately 10,000 euros per patient per year in costs. And most of these costs are actually due to the time spent changing the wound dressings. Now, let's get one thing straight. Sterility is a very important part of the wound. However, if a bacterial infection is eliminated, it doesn't automatically mean that a wound will be able to heal, because inflammation may still reside, be that in protease imbalances or immune system dysregulation. As a medical student, I see this on a daily basis, be that in the diabetology clinic I work at or at the hospital wards. But what I fail to see is a solution that addresses this problem and solves and restores the inflammation environment within the wound. And this is where we come in. We are developing our very own biodegradable product from potato waste, a wound dressing, as you can see on our prototype. It is made by bacterial fermentation, and it actually results in bacterial biocellulose. This bacterial biocellulose closely resembles the human extracellular matrix and consists of collagen and gelatin particles that help restore the protective factors within the wound environment, as well as anti-inflammatory additives that together help resolve the inflammation within the wound. So, the solutions that exist on the current market primarily focus on managing exudate or the infection within the wound. These are only symptoms, however, which is why costs accumulate over time as we try and solve this problem without addressing its actual cause. So we are proposing addressing the root cause of the problem, which is the persistent inflammation in the wound, by using our waste-based solution, which would help costs to decrease by decreasing the nursing time required, as well as the dressing changes. Currently, the market is quite large, seeing as the wound-based market is around 22 billion, and the European one from that is 7 billion in itself. And we know that this market will increase, seeing as the amount of aging patients, as well as diabetic patients, will increase by around 20% within the only next 10 years. At the same time, We know that an innovative approach is required, a new approach is required, and we are prepared to fill the gap. Our early adopters would probably be private clinics and elderly care facilities, as well as patients with chronic wounds who are in need of the newest solutions on the market and are willing to pay for it without the support of insurance companies. However, our main goal is to target hospitals and insurers in the long run, which is why our next steps will primarily consist of targeting partners and opening up dialogue, as well as increasing the business competence of our team and working on the biocellulose composition of our solution. Me and Veronica are a perfect combination for the solution, seeing as she has the immunology and laboratory skills, whilst I have the experience in the clinical setting. And together, our shared passion will help us turn our vision of turning food waste into healing, sustainable wound care solution a reality.
I love the energy. You won the award for amount of words per minute for sure. So, no,
thank you.
No, but it was all relevant information. So actually, well done, well done. Great presentation. I'm not familiar with this market. Does it fall under any regulation, anything that you need to do with this before it goes to market?
Yeah, so we looked into the regulations, and there are a few. Some of those we are already trying to address with our processing, but we would need further testing for some ISO standards, and also we think we would fall into category of MDR2B or MDR3, which is something we would need to look into, and it comes primarily for treating the waste, so the pesticides and all of the other chemicals do not get into our coverings. However, even with the protocol we have established as of now for our prototype, we are quite positive that the number would be under limit.
Cool. Talk to your Mr. Expert afterwards.
I really love the idea. My question is coming back to the root. Do you really need the food waste? Because you know that's another regulation, big problem in the closet if you want to work with the waste. I assume the material itself is not necessarily waste. It could be like just potatoes, right?
Yes, you're very right. It could be just grown on standard optimized media to actually grow our product. However, that's not where innovations come from, and that's not what we stand for. So, yes, we could take the easy route, or we could invest a little more into our R&D and optimize it. I know it comes with regulations, but that ties back to the question we already answered, and if the results are positive, we are happy. If the results would need a little iteration, we are willing to take the harder route. Thank you.
Maybe I haven't paid attention very well due to the cadency of the words, but I'd like to ask again, maybe, what's the source of the waste? Where the waste comes from?
So far, we have 2 restaurants, vegan ones that are willing to separate their potato waste for us, and we are using that. However, with scaling, we would like to look more into mass producers and mass farmers and these processing companies. However, for our prototypes and MVPs, this is logistically and, well, just much more viable to do in a small scale. So that's what we are working with now.
So be very, very, very careful with regulations, because it's not allowed to process and collect waste when the product is considered waste. So
yes,
this is very, very important, because it's against law, actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much.
Coming back to the waste. Would the dressing itself just consist of this material, or it needs to be combined with anything else?
Yes.
And would it be? How would you describe the disposability of the used dressing?
Sure. So as you can see on the graphics, the bacterial cellulose, which you can see down there, is just a part of the component, and we also want to utilize another bacterial production for the collagen and gelatin elastin-like proteins. So it would be a combined material also with anti-inflammatory additives. So it would be combined. So far we have prototype for the bacterial cellulose, which we now know that we can grow from, well, the waste. And disposable-wise, we would need to also run tests on how well it disposes, and we would also need to check with the clinics. What is something that we view as a plus is that it would not need to be incinerated, as most of the plastic waste and coverings that are well used as of now.
What other innovative solutions do you see on the market to tackle the same problem? Artificial skin, membranes, etc., etc.
There are some, but what we are doing differently is we are also treating the inflammation while they just try to treat the infection.
Yes, the specific anti-inflammatory additives that we will use, which are targeting, let's say, the metalloproteinases and other things in the wound that most other solutions do not bother with, because what is on the market is already low-tech, and what they are trying is high-tech, and we're even trying to go further beyond that to target the problem in a better way.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite to the stage Silver Hub, Ester Kolárova and Filip Jura.
The only real parenting hack is to live close to your grandparents. Families with the kids away from their family roots are many times really struggling with all the stuff happening during the life. You know, it can be really messy. We believe with Esther that we can help them. The question is how. We identify that our society is fulfilled with another unfulfilled potential part of the society. Those are the people after 55 plus. We call them active adults or elderly active people. These people are skillful, motivated, full of energy, eager to contribute. Many of them still want to feel really like in a huge, big thing to be potential and helping other people. So mainly they're like generation full of live wisdom, ready to support. We did our own research with like a little questionnaire asking families and active adults around the whole Slovakia, focusing on whether they could give help or reach a help. And what we found out is the result that really fitting into our idea. Because the families, they really need someone who can they trust. Like over 50% of them would need help bi-weekly. But on the other side, they're like the adults who are digitally active. They can work with digital spheres. And also they are ready for micro supports. What is also really interesting that we already have a connection with the 20 families and over 55 active adults who want to join our pilot. And we did it without any like big marketing or without even winning the BioInnovation Awards. So we are presenting you our platform. It's called the Silver Hub, where we'll be connecting the both groups, active adults and the families. They can get into our platform. They can get or give 3 tasks: childcare support, food and groceries, and companionships. But to get our platform, they need to go into our super important, the trust circle, using our Silver Hub local ambassadors, who will verify them on a few levels to get into that circle. And also we have a local operator who will be always on the time on the phone when the task will be given, so the families doesn't need to be on WhatsApp and doing all the stuff. They can really enjoy their free time. About the competition, we are the human-based business, and 100% trust we are providing is based on a solid structure and a system. Our opponent doesn't have it. They don't have a business model, they don't have a structure. There are many times like a charitable young families, women want to get some kind of babička for help and so on. It's not a business model. We believe that we will be putting through our monthly subscription. We have a credit system, so we'll give a credit and get a credit. We also have everything we'll be managing. We'll be managing the getting transfer of the money, we will be managing the scheduling, so it have to be as easy as possible for the families. By that, we believe that our revenues and profit will quite exponentially increasing in the next 3 years. We will be expanding mainly in Slovakia, the whole country, and then the Czech Republic in the next 3 years in our phases, and then to the Europe, but that's a topic for another page deck. So, just to remind that sustainable ecosystem is not just about the trees, birds, waste, or food. It's mainly about all of us, and that's Silver Hub. Thank you for your attention. She really believes it.
I love the storytelling and slow speaking. That was really nice, actually. Really good, clear presentation. I have maybe 2 questions that I didn't understand properly. Your local ambassadors, very important for the trust building. How are you going to manage it at scale? That's probably quite difficult. And my second question is retention, because usually with these models is how the customers are not going to go around you once you establish the trust.
Yeah, okay, I will try to answer your question. First one was regarding the
local ambassadors,
yeah,
because you need loads of them, I guess.
Yeah, so we will set up a methodology or set of qualities so the local ambassadors will need to have in order to be in our program, and we do hope with a good tracking system within the company we can achieve the quality of the local ambassadors at a certain level. So yes, and second question, we were actually dealing with this sort of topic quite a lot, and we do hope that if we are taking the pressure of the families to set up the meeting with the grandmas and grandpas, we can still keep them in our Silver Hub platform because someone may be sick, so we can find a replacement for that. And in the future, we do hope we can have multiple we can work with different also companies that can
municipalities. So the very big issue is that no one has time for anything. So when you just put in our platform, you put the credits on that, we will deal with everything else. That's really will attract the people so close. Also the trust. The trust is like the signature of us. If you have a trust, you believe them because everyone, there are different type of people. We base them on that. I will add to the local ambassador as well. They will go through the really hard training. They will cover the psychologist. They will go them the first help. We train them to really try to take and pick those who should not be in our trust circle, in our platform. Also, we are also working with municipalities. In cooperation, we have a system. I guess it's written in our papers. We then put them some kind of, we call the multi-sport card. So our services can also take the companies, so they can put to the employees benefits or using the Silver Hub and so on.
Okay, so my question is in terms of the business model and your cost basis. Who do you pay and take on your payroll, and who in this ecosystem gets paid and by whom?
Okay, so each of the 2 groups, so both families and active adults, pay a subscription, monthly subscription, that they can actually be on the platform and for the families to browse through the active adults or the seniors. And then on top of that, they pay into their wallet within the app, and they directly pay the seniors or the active adults. So the payment is done through the platform, and our revenue comes only from the monthly subscription from the families and active adults that can be on the platform. I'm not sure if I answered your question. Like, the revenue stream is from this, and we also manage the payments, but we don't take any percentage of.
What do you have on your payroll?
Like,
what kind of people would you do?
Okay. I mean, we need a good marketing team in order to be publicly known, publicly known, and also the local ambassadors is like a big part of this. And yes.
Thank you very much. Those were our 4 amazing teams who were trying to present us innovations in EnviroTech sector. And now we would like to go to our keynote speaker, Šimon, Rovder, CTO and co-founder of Powerful Medical. Please welcome on stage, Šimon. Where can we find you? Here you are.
Thank you for the warm welcome. It is an honor to be here and to be able to address the graduates of Lifbee Academy. So, as mentioned, my name is Šimon Rovder. I'm the Chief Technology Officer and co-founder at Powerful Medical. We are a medtech startup based here in Bratislava. You may have heard of us. We focus on bringing artificial intelligence to the forefront of cardiology, specifically in the area of heart attacks. And I'm here to tell you the story of our company and to maybe give you some advice that can be taken from it. We've been around for a while. We started in 2019. We started small. We were a bunch of... Nope. Does this work? We were a bunch of 5 guys in a random house at the very edge of the city in Vrakuňa. The only thing further out was a railroad and like a field of potatoes or something. We've come a long way since then. Today we are a certified medical device manufacturer. Our technology is deployed in dozens of hospitals and health systems around the world. And we've saved about 10,000 lives to date. Every day we're saving 100 more, which, if you do the math, over the course of a 15-minute keynote adds up to roughly 1. So let's get to it. I get asked to talk about startups a lot, about what it takes to build a successful one, what are the pitfalls, what is the advice I can give. And I always talk about the same set of things over and over again, which I think are the most crucial, important things to know if you're thinking about going into the world of startups. And today I'm faced with an interesting crowd because a lot of these points you would find very familiar. I talk about the importance of a market fit. I talk about how you need to find your customer, an actual physical person to talk to whose brains you can pick. I talk about how you need to identify a problem and understand it in depth. I talk about how to properly solve a problem in an actionable way that truly changes what the customer can do or experience that they could not do or experience before. I talk about the importance of finding competitive advantages, something that allows you to break through in a field where there is already a lot of competition maybe. About the importance of getting the legal things right from the beginning, everything from protecting your intellectual property all the way through making sure you have contracts with your employees, you have vesting plans, you have the right corporate structure, etc., etc. I talk about understanding the field you are venturing into, beyond just what the customer tells you, having a broader view and understanding of what the field expects. Today, I am not going to dive too deep into these concepts because you guys have graduated the Lifbee Academy and, well, you've been practicing these for months now. At least I know what Lifbee did 3 years ago. I'm assuming it's still very similar to this, so you know what's up. But learning these things and doing the academy is, I think, one of the best things you could have possibly done. Because if startups were a game, then these are the rules. And what you've effectively done is, before you started to play the game, you have read the rules, which is an outstanding first move, to be honest. It definitely puts you miles ahead of anyone else who is venturing off into the startup world. You'd be surprised how many people walk in with the ambition to found a startup. They have a preconceived idea of a giant, shiny product they're going to build, and they've never seen a customer. They've never talked to one. They don't even necessarily know what problem they are solving. And that is definitely a recipe for disaster. Learning these things is a recipe for success. Of course, success is never truly guaranteed, but you can definitely stack the odds in your favor. And that's what I think you have done by completing this academy. So, I presume you are all going to be founding something of your own. You don't need to call it a startup. This applies to everything, be it a business, a venture, project, doesn't matter. Anything that is in some way related to business, these rules will apply. And I'm assuming you will be starting something of your own. So what I want to do today is I want to answer a question you might have, which is, how does this apply, really apply in the real world? Is this an idealized, romanticized way in which you build a startup? Does this stand up against the rough around the edges real world? And my answer is yes, but I want to give you a little walkthrough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them on the side here, and I'm going to give you a fast forward timeline of Powerful Medical. And I will point out the various key critical moments, the pivotal moments of our company, where you will see that at the heart of the decisions we made and directions we took are exactly these concepts. And I hope to do this for two reasons. First, to give you the faith you need, the faith in what you have learned to start something of your own, but also maybe, given the crowd, to show you what this might look like in the medtech world. So let's do it. We started 7 years ago, and it all started with one of our co-founders, Robert Herman, doing his PhD and being sent to the hospital OLV Aalst in Belgium. And his presence there opened the door for us to talk to the people on the ground. They were effectively our first customer, and we definitely talked to them. We picked their brains, everyone from ambulance drivers, through emergency department nurses, through physicians, cardiologists, surgeons, directors, coordinators, organizers, everyone we could get our hands on and get into a room with. We talked to them to try to understand a problem that they might have that might be worth solving. And one definitely stood out among the rest. Heart attacks. Heart attacks are simple. You have a heart. The heart pumps blood around the body. You all know that. There's through the vein, the big arteries at the top. But the heart itself is a muscle, so it needs blood itself to function. And that's what the arteries on the sides are for, the ones around the heart muscle. And these arteries can get blocked, which leads to the heart muscle dying. When this happens, you have about 90 minutes to remove the block. Otherwise, you risk permanent damage or death. Luckily, removing this is a relatively simple procedure. They will create an incision in your wrist, and they will navigate a wire through your vein all the way to your heart and physically remove the block. Sounds terrifying. It's actually very safe, very effective, very easy to do. People aren't even in anesthesia when that happens. They are fully conscious. The real problem is, how do you know whether a patient has a heart attack? And that's the thing. Patients don't come to the emergency room saying, "Hi, I've got a heart attack, can you do the thing?" You need to figure out whether they are one of them. And of the myriad of reasons a person could have chest pain, heart attacks are a small fraction. So you need to figure out whether the patient needs to be sent. The way physicians do it, they do an EKG. You've definitely seen these in movies. They put the little electrodes on your chest and out comes a paper like that with the measurements. The doctors look at it and they look for a particular pattern. They look for a big wave like this, followed by 2 waves on the side. Specifically, they're looking at this segment here, the ST segment. And if it looks like this, that is a perfectly okay patient. But if the ST segment is elevated like that, they call that a heart attack patient. The ST segment is elevated. Now, these ST elevation criteria are notoriously inefficient. They have an incredibly low specificity and even lower sensitivity. I'm talking like 50, 60%. They'll miss half the people with heart attacks. And this is where the problem is, because every false positive is a patient sent to have a surgery that they didn't need to have, costing a hospital thousands of dollars. And every patient that is missed, their heart dies and starts, well, doesn't die completely, but deteriorates way faster and way more than is sort of recoverable. And that then costs the hospital thousands of dollars to treat as well, because the patient becomes much more complicated. So the problem we identified is simple. Can we tell whether a patient has a heart attack or not with a greater sensitivity and specificity? Can we do it somehow? And the first thing that comes to mind is, well, AI, right? And artificial intelligence could look at the signal and it could decide, find patterns that physicians can't see and say, yes, this patient has a heart attack. Take that patient to the cath lab for the surgery. But then a second question comes to mind. It is true, yes, AI can do that, but where is all the AI then? Surely we're not the first ones to have thought of this, right? What's the barrier to entry? And the answer is already on the slide. It's the paper. ECG machines have been around for 100 years by now. Historically, before computers, they just printed stuff on paper, and that habit stuck. To this day, they will print EKGs on paper. They'll pass them around in the emergency department, especially in a time-sensitive situation like a heart attack. They will just use paper. So in order to break into this field, we needed some competitive advantage. And we decided to become compatible with the paper. Not just the idealized form of it, but the ugly reality of it. So we created an artificial intelligence that allows you to bring in a camera, take a picture of the paper, and extract the digital waveform from it. We call this the digitization module, and once we have this one done, then we can tack on a diagnostic module. Look at the digital signal, diagnose a heart attack, looking at patterns that physicians cannot see. So there it is. You need both of these in order to properly, actionably solve the problem. Having one is not enough. Having two is what you need. So you take those two, wrap them into an application, and suddenly you have a very convenient form factor to distribute your AI in. Because keep in mind, hospitals aren't used to something like this. This is ridiculous for them, right? They're used to obtaining giant hardware that has to be shipped in, then connected to the hospital network. It has to be installed, configured to read from the health record systems, etc. This takes a year. And then suddenly there's an app they can download in 1 minute, set up, and they have a medical device in their hands which can save them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Now that is a competitive advantage that definitely warrants protecting, right? And that's exactly what we've done. We have patented the ECG digitization algorithm, so no competitor can do that anymore, which effectively makes us the de facto owner of this field, because paper compatibility is required to enter the field. Right. Oh. So we've got this thing. How do we enter the market? What does the market expect from us? How does a market accept a new medical device into it? Well, you need a lot of evidence. No one's going to believe you if you come in and say, oh, my medical device is the best in the world. They want to see the evidence. And how do you gain it? Well, you need to do clinical trials and studies. And conveniently, we had an initial customer, Oilve Alst, where we deployed the system initially to incredible success. And this success spread, and there was a growing interest among more and more institutions to onboard onto the product, not to buy it, no, to further validate it. They wanted to run trials and studies, which we happily engaged with them on. Because of the convenient form factor, we could fuel the evidence-generating machine. The way it went, there would be a doctor, say in this particular case it was Dr. Emre in Turkey, who onboarded 18 different hospitals to use our product in a randomized controlled trial setting. There were days when it was on, there were days when it was off. And presented the very clear results that before the AI was implemented, it took them 202 minutes to treat the patient, which is way above the, by the way, mandated time of 90 minutes, that the guideline mandated time, and took it all the way down to 48 minutes. And of course, more studies followed. The evidence-generating machine went on, and to date we have 28 peer-reviewed studies, 38 abstracts, and suddenly the desire to trial and validate turns into the desire to buy and apply in practice. For that, of course, you need to be certified, and getting certified, it's not easy as a medical device. We were multiple times mentioned today, MDR Class 2B medical device. It's not easy, but it's not terribly difficult either. It is just the right amount of difficulty you would expect, and that makes sense for what it is. It is a medical device. And of course, having a large amount of evidence definitely helps. You can use that as the foundation of your regulatory approval. So that's where we are today, certified medical device manufacturer with the product on the market. So what are the key takeaways I want you to take from this? Well, the number one takeaway is that the things you have learned, they definitely do apply. You can definitely take the knowledge you have learned and use it to build for success. And I know I maybe made it look a bit easy and obvious. Believe me, it was not obvious in the moment. If I was to go back in time, the decisions were definitely not clear. It was much harder than we expected. And you will definitely also face hard times. There will definitely be times when you'll start to, when the rules won't quite fit, you won't be able to make them work, and you'll start to think to yourself, okay, well maybe my startup is a bit different. It doesn't quite apply because it's unique for such and such and such reasons. That's denial. Don't do that. The rules, they do apply. It might not be obvious what the answers are, but those aren't the rules of startups. They're the rules of business in general. They always apply. So yes, don't lose yourself in it. I definitely believe you have the advantage. Don't waste it. Use it. Go out there and build something amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Šimon, very much for your amazing speech. Now we will take a short break until 8:15. And remember, this is your last chance to vote for your favorite team today. So enjoy refreshments and networking. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your short networking and the refreshments. Now we will proceed with closing the most popular team vote. So this is your last chance to vote. If you haven't voted for your team yet, please do so now. And we will close the vote in 3, 2, 1, closing. And now, we are going to the most exciting part of the evening, the announcement of the winners of Lifbee Academy 25-26. 8 months of hard work, 8 months of creativity, 8 months of building ideas, building friendships, building their own resilience. Incredible journey for all of our 22 participants. So please, let's have one last round of applause for everyone and each of them. Good job. So I already know who the winners are because the jury has already decided and I got this insider info. But first, I will tell you what the winners of the Life Sciences Lab are going to receive, which is €5,000 support by our partner Sanaklis for further development and tests of their projects. They are also going to get very special Life Sciences Lab Award trophy. These were custom made using 3D printing by our partner Rapid Next, which is a Slovak company, so it's local, fast, and customized. So it's perfect. Also free legal consultation for up to 10 hours in the field of IP and corporate law from our partner Brichta and Partners, and 3 tickets to Prague Bio Conference. So these are the prizes. And now let me invite to the stage Alexander from Sanaklis to congratulate the winner and give them the special prize. And now we are finally getting there. So the winner of the Life Sciences Lab of this year is Menothera. Please come to the stage. Congratulations. Here comes another prizes. Congratulations! Would you like to say a few words?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. There you go.
Would you be so kind?
Of course, of course.
So, thank you all for coming here tonight. Thanks to the jury for your trust. We really appreciate it, and it means a lot to us. I would like to thank my colleague Martin, because without his out-of-the-box ideas, we wouldn't be here today with Menothera. And I would like to thank all participants of Lifbee this year and the amazing team and your support over this all 8 months. It's getting quite long, but still, we would like to thank also to Jakub, who helped us construct our assistant, Sally, there on the left. And I would like to also thank Lucka Křenková from the Shield startup, and I was always amazed how cooperation and compassion between women startups works in reality. That means a lot to me.
And I would just add that I would like to thank you, Tanya, for her great networking skills that she managed to contact everybody around the world to make it possible.
And also, last but not least, thanks to all my friends who came here to support us tonight, and they help us actually a lot, also develop the idea and listen to us endlessly. So thank you all and enjoy the evening.
Thank you. Congratulations to the team Menothera again. So many prizes, it's difficult to carry them. So let's move on to another lab of this evening, which is EnviroTech lab. The winner is also going to win 5,000 euros to develop their idea by our lab partner Nadácia Tipsport. Also very special EnviroTech Lab Award trophy from Rapid Next. Free legal consultations from Brichta and Partners, and tickets for Envi Summit conference on innovating solutions and best practices for environmentally sustainable packaging from EnviPack. And yes, I would like to welcome on the stage Zuzana Tulnerova from Nadácia Tipsport to join me. Also already joined me for announcing the winner, and if you want we can announce it together. No, I can. So the winner of the EnviroTech Lab is this year Wastevera. congratulations. Would you like to say a few words? Yes, yes, of course. There you go.
I would say that we really love that you loved our idea. I guess that we may have been, in a way, innovative, and we really like that you could maybe see our potential. And I would also like to say thank you to our third member who can't be here, because she really worked hard for this project, and she was the best addition we could have had for our team. So it's a bit unfortunate that she's not here, but we will celebrate with her later. I would also like to say thank you for everyone that helped us on our way, and who maybe will help us in the future. So.
Okay, so I would like to thank my colleagues, Natalia and Sylvia. I think it was a really long run, but we made it together, even with some some small issues. But I really appreciate this prize, and I'm really glad that you believe in your idea. And it's important to know that for us humans, ideas that are created here in Lifbee are like a huge, gives a huge benefit to us in the future. So I want to thank Lifbee that they were on this with us together during this time. So yeah, thank you all for your support.
There you go. Thank you very much. And before we announce the public vote winner, I would like to please stay here, and you will take a picture with the jury from your lab. So if I may ask the jury to join us on the stage and take a picture. And also the Life Sciences Lab, please get ready, the winners and the jury, for the picture as well before we announce the public vote. Great, and now please from the Life Sciences Lab, the winner and the jury. Let's move to the last prize of this evening, which is the public vote that you voted for on Slido. I received already this small piece of paper, so I have the winner. But the winner is also receiving some special gifts, which are 3 tickets for the Startup Reflect Festival in Cyprus from our friend Doors United organization. And I would like to ask Darinka from Lifbee to join me to give the winner the prize. And the public vote winner is EATaime. Dajme ešte fotku. Congratulations. Please say a few words.
Thank you very much. I believe that it's like a demonstration that this topic is very important, and it's really important to have a healthy gut, but also a healthy relationship with food. And maybe many of you know somebody who has some struggles with that, so I would like to encourage everybody that it's possible to cure it and heal it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this award. We really appreciate all your votes. We are happy that you liked our demo, if you had the chance to try it. And we are just grateful for everyone who supported us. So thank you again.
So at the end, I would like to thank to all the Lifbee team to help supporting us through our journey, and Philip who helped us with the app, and to all those people who voted, because this really shows us that it's important topic beyond the jury, really for the people who are making it. Thank you.
Sorry, one more sentence. I would really like to thank you girls, because I really enjoy the whole process with you.
Same here.
Same.
So, those were the winners of this year Lifbee Academy Finale BioInnovation Awards 2026. And we are slowly approaching our event to the end. Before we finish it, I would like to tell you that the registration for New Year's Lifbee Academy is open. So if you know somebody who should register, or you want to register yourself, you have still time. There is early bird scholarship 20% until the end of February. So this is your chance. And now, the last words. After I finish them, I would like to ask every participant and all the partners to join me here on the stage for the last photo. But I want to officially end this program and thank you to our partners, our cooperators, our colleagues, our alumni, and most of our special teams about whom it was this evening. So thank you very much, and we are looking forward to the next year of BioInnovation Awards.